Good morning guys, welcome to week 4 of Summer of Stitching. I really hope you've been enjoying this and I really hope that you enjoy the theme for this week, which is all things beachy and ocean related. You couldn't have a summer box without something along those lines. And yeah, here's your usual spoiler alert that I'm about to show the contents of the week 4 box. So if you haven't yet opened yours, please pause this video, go and open it and then come back, or come back to this video another day because I'm about to spoil you. So in the box this week, I've wanted to do this needle minder for ages. I've had it on my list for absolutely ages, and then when I decided I was making these boxes, I was like, oh my god, it's just the absolute perfect time to make this needle minder. And they took quite a few goes to figure out colours and shapes and whatnot, but I'm really pleased with how it turned out. So our needle minder this week is a little tiny beach hut, and I love it. It's so stinking cute. Now I've got a question for, I know I've got a few international folks doing Summer of Stitching. I've got a question. Are beach huts a thing overseas, or is this a British thing? In the UK, on a lot of our beaches, you've got beach huts for miles. They are like a massive deal. But I'm not really sure if they're a thing elsewhere or if it's just a UK thing. So let me know about that. But yeah, so this was the little beach hut. It took me a while to settle on the colours, but in the end we went for a nice bright yellow with some gold edging and the lovely teal and teal green and a nice oceany blue. Yeah, so that was your handmade item this week, and I think they're really cute and I hope you like them. And I've got a nice summer project you can stick that on. Your handmade stitchy present this week is from the lovely Meg at Luxe, another awesome small business, and I think the most important thing about being in a small business is supporting other small businesses. So I was super happy to support her and putting these in your box. And it is some, whoops, let's drop it, thread gloss. And again, it took me ages to decide on a scent, but I've decided on the Ocean Breeze scent. I love the colour of the branding and also the smell, which is so fresh and clean and oceany and beautiful. Now I'll confess, until recently I hadn't really used a thread gloss. I'm more of a lick my thread kind of gal, which I admit is pretty gross. But since I got some samples and started working with Meg on getting these, I have been using it, and the smells are insane. Like, it just, oh, the smells are so good. I'm currently road testing a couple of other smells as well for some future projects, and they're all really lush. So thank you so much for Meg at Luxe, as well as thread gloss. She also makes some beautiful needle minders and personalized bags and just other cross-stitchy goodies. So make sure you check out her shop. The non-stitchy item, of course, it wouldn't be a self-care box without a candle. So everyone's got a little beachy themed candle in their box this week. And again, these are all different colours. So some people are going to have, I think there was some greens, some blues, some purples and some whites and some yellows. So yours is all going to be slightly different. But yeah, that's your little candle. I haven't lit one yet, but these smell pretty good as well. So clearly, it's a treat for the senses in this week's box. And your sweet treat, I had to include some sherbet pips. Now these were, so people of a certain age will remember the sweet shops that you go to and you'd get a quarter of, there'd be big jars behind the counter and you would order a quarter of whichever sweet you wanted, and there'd be like this huge array of sweets. There was a shop called Lacey's near us that had all of them, and it was just a joy to go in there. And I loved a lot of them. I love the chewing nuts, I love the pineapple cubes, there was lots, but I would almost always pick sherbet pips. I absolutely love them. And the colours just felt right for this box, and I was like, can I get some sherbet pips? Is there anywhere that still does those sort of sweets? It turns out online there are some great places where you can go. I'm trying to remember where I got these from. Candy Delivered is the name of the firm. If you want to go and take a look, they do loads of different old-fashioned sweets in these sort of like 100-gram packets. So yeah, definitely go and check them out. And yeah, I really hope you enjoy the sherbet pips. I nicked a bag of these myself and they are tasty. Although maybe don't eat the whole bag at once because it makes your mouth sore. Do you remember that with cola cubes and stuff? They would always make your mouth sore. So you do get that, but they are delicious. So yeah, I feel like this week's box is very much a multi-senses type box. And I really love the postcards from this week's box. I had to pull one out. Yeah, I've been chuffed with a lot of the cool sort of arty postcards that I've been including, but these are probably my favourite. Absolutely love it. So, in terms of email this week, it's going to be all about meditation and mindfulness, which I'm also going to talk about in a second. So keep an eye out for that one. I'm pre-recording these and I'm hoping to also have an interview from Meg at Luxe. If I manage to get in touch with her and get that interview set up on time, then there will also be an interview with Meg in there as well. So that's going to be content for this week. This week's video, I just wanted to share my personal story about mindfulness and why I think it's like so important for self-care. So as you know from my previous videos, I've really struggled with anxiety in the past, particularly after I had my son. And the thing with anxiety is it's all about either the future or the past. Usually the future, we're usually worrying about, you know, what's going to happen and catastrophizing and things that could happen in the future, but it's also a little bit about the past because we're quite often fretting about something we said or did and what someone thinks of us and what's going to happen as a result of that. So I think the reason that mindfulness and meditation are kind of the antithesis of anxiety is because they are all about the present. They're all about focusing on the present day, and that is where the most peace is, right? If we can focus on the present moment, then that is where all the most peace is, because you've literally got, you can't worry about the past and you can't fret about the future if you're in the moment. So that is like the main reason that I love meditation and mindfulness. The longer we can stay in the present moment, the more we can quieten the annoying noise polluting our brains and the negative thoughts and all the rest of it. So, before 2013, I don't think I'd ever been truly present and living in the present for even one moment in my entire life. I was always either worrying about something or planning something. I was like a massive planner. So I was always living beyond the moment. And when I become, which is, let's be honest, that's anxiety's dream, right? So when I was unwell, I was forced to find different self-care practices that would help me to recover and feel better, and one of them was mindfulness, and that's one that I've found particularly helpful, hence why I'm sharing it with you today and this week. Being mindful and being still and being present takes lots of practice. Like, it is really not something, I was talking to my husband about this the other day and he was like, I don't think I could ever meditate. And I said, well, no, I don't think you could, because you wouldn't be willing to put in the practice, because he's just not that sort of person. He's a more of a practical kind of person. You do have to really put in some practice. It's not a difficult thing, but it's a difficult thing to do regularly and for any sort of length of time. However, when you do have those moments where you are truly present, it is the most peaceful and beautiful feeling when you can achieve it. So there's lots of different ways that you can practice mindfulness. Some people enjoy like sort of more descriptive guided meditations where you can listen to something and they're like getting you to visualize things and leading you on a certain kind of almost a hypnotic journey, whereas I like to keep things more simple. I've used many times in the past the Headspace app, which is really simple because at the heart of it, it's all about counting your breaths and being aware of your body. And that's literally it. That's the crux of it. But as I say, that's not easy. So it's simple, but it's not easy. You count your breaths. you are aware of your body, and then you have to gently bring yourself back every time. You have to bring yourself back to your body every time that you realize that your mind has wandered, which will be a lot, especially at the beginning. It's going to really be a lot. And there are loads of other ways that we can practice mindfulness using our senses, using our environment and so forth. But I'm not going to spoil it because I'm sharing some of my mindfulness tips in this week's email. So if you want to know a little bit more, then please check that out. As I say, I've included this in this project because I just think it's a great way of practicing self-care. And if you're having a particularly stressful time in the summer, finding a way of, or learning a way of being able to capture that moment and be more present can really help your self-care and ultimately your well-being. So thank you so much for listening. I hope that was helpful to some of you. Hope you enjoyed everything that was in this week's box. As usual, please feel free to continue to share on Instagram, Facebook, and on your FlossTube channels. Yeah, I really hope you're enjoying yourselves, and happy stitching. And I will see you again next week for another video. Take care. Bye.